The failure to raise revenues as planned, among several other reasons, led the government to reduce its budget for the upcoming fiscal year. This affected several sectors, including health, that saw a reduction of its budget by 20%. In response, the Ministry of Health and Population has clarified that its ongoing projects will likely be affected and delayed as the ministry makes adjustments to the new budget. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Premier Dahal to embark on his state visit to India tomorrow. Border issues and development partnership among the main agendas. Amid growing criticism, the government revives the MP's constituency development program. Finance Minister assures of proper use of the budget. A former top Chinese government scientist says the possibility of COVID virus leaked from a laboratory should not be ruled out. China maintains a lab leak is false allegation. And Church boys thumbs APF 4-1 while Jalaki Youth strengthens its title aspiration, defeating 3-1 Army 2-1 at the Martyrs Memorial 8 Division League. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is embarking on his 4-day state visit to India tomorrow. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that during the Premier's India visit, parleys will be held regarding the implementation of previous agreements as well as new bilateral issues. During the press meet held earlier today at the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Minister N.P. South claimed that the Prime Minister's India visit will be productive, saying that talks will be held in energy, trade and infrastructures, among others. Minister South added that the Premier's India visit will be to draw the southern neighbours' attention towards increasing investment in hydropower projects and ensure export of electricity produced in Nepal. He further said that dialogues will be held on the expansion of transmission lines and export of electricity to Bangladesh via India. Minister South said that Nepal looks to sign a few agreements concerning various infrastructure projects, export of agricultural produce, transportation and dry port. Prime Minister Dahal is scheduled to leave for New Delhi at 1 p.m. tomorrow in the national flag carrier Nepal Airlines flight. The Premier's delegation includes Ministers for Finance, Foreign Affairs, Energy, Industry, Commerce and Supply and Physical Infrastructures along with their secretaries. Experts from trade and commerce sector as well as business persons are also scheduled to participate during the visit. Earlier this evening, spokesperson for Nepal's embassy in New Delhi, Rewati Raman Podel, confirmed the Premier's schedule during his India visit. Prime Minister Dahal is scheduled to meet his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi on Thursday. The government, which is facing shortage of resources, is embracing any possible means of curbing expenditure. This includes scrapping of incentives of the officials and 20 entities. However, the controversial Parliamentary Constituency Development Fund, which aims to address the local needs of development works through the lawmakers, has been revived. Erstwhile Minister for Finance Bharat Mohan Adhikari, while presenting the budget for the Nepalese fiscal year 2051-52, on the 11th of Posh 2051, as per the Nepali calendar, had allocated 250,000 rupees for each lawmaker, amounting to 51.2 million rupees. The amount spent by lawmakers for local development was increased to 400,000 in the second year, 500,000 in the third year and 1 million in the fourth, which was the Nepalese fiscal year 2057-58. The government formed after the Constituent Assembly election of 2064 had removed this program from the budget, which met sharp criticisms from some lawmakers, while others had appreciated the move. Later, the erstwhile Finance Minister Baburam Bhattarai had revived the program amid criticisms. Saying that 1 million each was too less, lawmakers of Nepali Congress and CPN Yemal had collected signatures to increase the fund to 50 million rupees in the fiscal year 2071-72. The same year, the government allocated 1.5 million rupees for each lawmaker under the Constituency Development Program and arranged 10 million rupees for Constituency Infrastructure Special Program. In the fiscal year 2072-73, the amount was increased to 2 million for each lawmaker and 15 million for the Constituency Special Program. Meanwhile, 40 million rupees was allocated for the Constituency Infrastructure Development Program in the fiscal year 2075-76. However, following sharp criticisms over the abuse of the funds, the program was scrapped from the fiscal year 2078-79. Now, the government has revived the Constituency Development Fund, which will see the state coffers bear the pressure of 8.25 billion rupees. Annual reports from the Office of the Auditor General reports of irregularities in the funds provided to lawmakers. Moving on, Finance Minister Prakash Charan Mahat has assured that the budget plan for the next fiscal year would be implemented. Speaking at a press conference to inform of the budget, the Finance Minister said unnecessary expenses could be avoided and government operations would be changed in order to ensure effective implementation of the budget. Minister Mahat emphasized that revenue collection this year would be higher, saying that revenue policies had been improved and that previous shortcomings had been addressed. The minister also assured that the government had begun initiatives to clear due payments of contractor companies that had completed projects. Meanwhile, amid criticism, the minister defended the government decision to raise taxes on smaller electric vehicles and reduce that on heavier EVs, saying that the intention was to bring uniformity in taxes. He highlighted on the need to amp up monitoring of the EV market, saying that sellers had taken more commission than the taxes imposed. Now, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces what they think of the government's budget for the next fiscal. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
जुन विद्यालयहरुमा दिवा खाजा थियो नि त्यसमा मनपरी हिसाबले प्रधानाध्यापकले जुन पायो जे पायो आफ्नो मनपरी तरिकाले त्यो बच्चाहरुलाई खाने कुरा दिनुहुन्थ्यो त्यसमा उहाँले अनिवार्य गरिदिनु भएको छ कि जंक फुड दिन पाइदैन
4 महिनामा ट्याक्स जुन बुझाउने सिस्टम ल्याछ त्यो बडा हामी व्यापारीलाई राम्रो भयो
महिला बालबालिका पिछाडी परेका वर्गलाई नसमेटेको जस्तो लाग्छ
गभर्नमेन्ट स्कुलको बच्चाहरुको लागि चाहिँ जुन खाजा भत्ताहरु राखेको छ त्यसले गरेर राम्रो छ शिक्षा र स्वास्थ्यमा अलि राम्रै छ
स्यालेरी पनि केही हिसाबमा केही पर्सेन्टेजमा त इन्क्रिज गर्नुपर्ने हो
12% सिमरा कोरिडोरलाई औद्योगिक क्षेत्रमा घोषणा गर्ने भनेको छ त्यो अलि घुमाउरो पारा लाग्यो
कृषि र शिक्षामा जति प्राथमिकता दिनु पर्थ्यो त्यसमा चाहिँ यस बजेटबाट अति कम भयो जस्तो लाग्छ
कपी पेस्ट जस्तो एउटा अनुभूति मेरो भएको छ
यो बजेट सही सदुपयोग हुनुपर्छ
हामी जस्ता सर्वसाधारण व्यापारीको लागि केही न केही आश जगाउने खालेको र जनमुखी खाले आएको
अहिलेको बजेट पनि अघिल्लो वर्ष जस्तै नै जनता रुपी चाहिँ आएन
व्यापारीहरुलाई पनि केही राहत ल्याउँछ कि भन्ने आशा छ
महिला बालबालिकाको सेक्टरमा भएको एउटा मन्त्रालय र विभाग थियो त्यो विभाग नै खारेज गर्ने निर्णय गरेको हुँदाखेरि यो बजेट समग्रमा चाहिँ चित्त बुझ्दो छैन
जाजरकोट जुम्ला सडक खण्ड जोड्ने सुरुङ मार्ग लगायतका मुख्य योजनाहरूले यो बजेटमा स्थान नपाउनु दुःखद हो
बजेटलाई चाहिँ सही तरिकाले चाहिँ उपभोग गरिदिनु पर्यो
प्रहरी भनौं यस्तो यिनीहरु रात दिन खटिनेहरूलाई उनीहरुलाई पनि सहुलियत दिएको अलिकति राहत दिएको चाहिँ देखिएन
महिला बालबालिका हैन युवा यी सबै समेटिने खालका बजेटहरु चाहिँ छैनन्
आर्थिक संकटलाई समाधान गर्ने दिशातर्फ अगाडि बढाउन सक्दैन
जता पनि छुन खोजेको तर कतै पनि नभएको
A writ has been filed at the Supreme Court against the government decision to provide amnesty to Resham Chaudhary, who was sentenced to life imprisonment for his involvement in the Tikapur massacre. The writ applicant is Sharada Bohra Kadayat, the wife of police personnel Keshav Bohra, who was killed in the incident. Sharada had submitted the application to file a writ on Sunday. Her writ application had been pending, citing time for review. Resham Chaudhary was freed on Sunday following the President's approval to the decision of the Council of Ministers. Hearing on the writ has been scheduled for tomorrow. Now, an armed group has robbed a branch of NMB Bank in Mahottari Rural Municipality. 4 armed individuals robbed 3.8 million rupees from the cash counter in broad daylight. Eyewitnesses have said that the armed individuals took staff and customers under control and carried out the heist at around 12:30 p.m. today. The Chief District Officer of Mahottari, Deepak Kumar Pahari, has said investigation on the incident is underway and that search is on for the perpetrators. Pahari has added the investigation team is going through the CCTV footage and search has been directed towards possible route the robbers took to escape. Borders have also been sealed since the incident. Nepali Congress leader and former State Minister Meena Pandey has passed away at the age of 72 at her residence in the capital's Gaushala. Pandey, who began her political career from Nepal Students' Union from the Nepalese year 2035, some 45 years ago, was the State Minister for Women, Children and Social Welfare. She also served as the member of the Central Working Committee of Nepali Congress on 3 occasions. She had become the member of the House of Representatives in the Nepalese year 2044, 51, 64 and 74. During democratic movements, Pandey had been jailed on several occasions. She had served 2 terms as the president of the Nepal Women's Union. Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Dewa expressed condolences and said that Pandey's contributions for the country's democratic movement and women's rights will live on. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we asked you, why have public expectations not been met even after 15 years of republicanism? 82% voted for option A, irresponsible leadership, 15% for B, traditional mindset, and 3% for C, requires patience. And here's today's question. What's your take on the government's decision to provide 50 million rupees to lawmakers for infrastructure development in their electoral constituencies? Your options are A, wrong practice, B, to please lawmakers, and C, result of influence. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, speaking with the BBC, a former top Chinese government scientist has said the possibility the virus of COVID-19 leaked from a laboratory should not be ruled out. As head of China's Center for Disease Control, CDC, Professor George Gao played a key role in the pandemic response and efforts to trace its origins. China's government dismisses any suggestion the disease may have originated in a Wuhan laboratory. In an interview for a podcast of BBC Radio, Gao suggested, in science, there always was place to suspect anything and that nothing could be ruled out. In a possible sign that the Chinese government may have taken the lab leak theory more seriously than its official statements suggest, Gao also said that some kind of formal investigation into the Wuhan Institute of Virology was carried out.
Sports News.
League leaders Church Boys have thumped departmental team APF 4-1 at the Martyrs Memorial 8 Division League today. In the match played at Dashrath Stadium, Church Boys chalked out an easy 4-1 win over APF. They opened their account early as Mosam Subha scored in the 3rd minute. Captain Ananta Tamang doubled Church's lead in the added time of the first half. Ananta then scored his personal second goal in the 56th minute to widen Church's lead to 3-0. In both of his goals, Ananta was assisted by Franklin Kuete Tala. In the 83rd minute, Avash Lamichane cut APF's deficit to 3-1. However, Ashish Chaudhary scored 1 in the 89th minute to seal the match 4-1. With the win, Church Boys solidified its lead in the league, accumulating 41 points so far, while APF are limited to 29 points and sit at the 9th position. Meanwhile, Jalakhel Youth Club defeated Trivan Army Club 2-1 to climb to the 2nd position of the points table, strengthening its title aspirations. Both the sides created several chances in the first half, however failed to find the net. Jalakhel broke the deadlock in the 53rd minute as Nkoto Masowabi utilized Samiraj Thokar's pass. Masowabi headed another goal in the 79th minute to make it 2-0 for Jalakhel. With today's win, Jalakhel have piled pressure on league leaders Church Boys and 3rd place Machindra. Jalakhel now have 4 matches to play. After today's defeat, Army are limited to 29 points and are at the 5th position of the points table. And up next is the weather update. that is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.